Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do two first impressions. So first up, we have the Bestech Lizard. So this is actually a gift knife I got, and it's kind of meant to be a joke. This is from Brandon Thrasher, and this is basically because of a group chat I'm in with Brandon, Stevie Wonder Woman, Grady's Gear, and we call ourselves the Elijah Douche Crew, aka the Four Douches. I know it's stupid, but whatever. And you got LeftyEDC, and I am douche number one. I am honored to be douche number one. So, Brandon got us all these for Christmas, and then Stevie got one for Brandon for Christmas. So, we all have one of these. It's a Bestech Lizard. And believe it or not, this thing has a strong detent, which is interesting. And I just kind of wanted to give some quick thoughts on it. It's this sort of JG10, but it's got this crazy sort of finish to it. It has a deep carry loop over clip. It's pretty stiff retention, but it works. It is not reversible, which kind of sucks. It does have a, it is recessed, but the clips are not, or the screws are not. So as Bee's Blades would say, you got some mushrooms growing under there. It is milled on the scales on both sides a little bit. It obviously has a coated blade and hardware, and it has a hole for deployment and a crazy harpoony type thing with dual poon spoons. And then the blade is actually I guess a sheep's foot or a warney or whatever you want to call it, but a useful blade shape in my opinion. And the ergos, this is why I wanted to actually review this, because originally I was just like, gas station knife, right? But once you get this thing in hand, it's an absolutely ergonomic dream. It's crazy. So for me anyway, I have a large glove size hand. My three fingers down here just wrap around perfectly down here around the handle. And then you have this generous choil. Boom, perfect. And then my thumb just lands right here in the poon spoon. And I have just unbelievable freaking control of this blade. It's insane. It's got a good edge on it from Bestech. Just really, I like this knife, which is interesting because I thought I would hate it. So I really just wanted to cover it because of that. It surprised the shit out of me, basically. I really like it, and you can kind of ride it up into a pinch grip, and then you have that tip down low, bang, cutting out labels, right? You can hold it back here, but you can do a lot of things with it. Yes, it's small. I mean, it's definitely on the smaller end. Here is my Richard Rogers OEM Slim Utility, which is already a really small knife. My Aloni Knives Goat version 2. I mean, it's smaller than both of those. Well, it might be around the same size as the Slim Utility. Let's check the Nimble here from EDC. See that? It's got a little bit on it. Let's switch them so you can see them on the opposite side. Pivot to pivot. There you go. Definitely a bit of a margin there on the Nimble, and the Slim is a little bit bigger, right? Not much, though. So, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about. Let's talk about the action real quick. The detent, it's very stiff. I mean, it is freaking stiff, guys. Now, for the flipper, I don't mind it. It works really well. If I light switch it, you got this jimping right here. If I light switch it, it thunders out of there. If I sort of push button it, it flies out of there. Now, the reverse flick is almost impossible because it hurts like goddamn hell. I can't even get it. Thumb flick works pretty well, though. It's just absolutely cannons out of there. Right? Righty reverse flick maybe because I'm pushing away from the detent. There you go. So it's a little better right-handed because you're pushing the blade this way, which is away from the detent ball. So you're going to get less pressure. But left-handed, I'm pushing it into the detent ball, making it nearly impossible. Plus my finger hurts like hell. Yeah, not happening. But I can thumb it out lefty. And it may break in as well, right? In terms of closing action, it's really bad. I mean, you got to get really low, I guess, and then it'll pass. And then you can shake it down. Now, I haven't taken this apart, tried tuning it in any way. But I'm mostly doing this, just pushing the lock bar and then pulling it down. And then doing that. But yeah, I actually really like the Lizard. I would find it interesting if they made a premium version of the Lizard. I would maybe buy one. If they tuned that D10 a little bit more and then made a premium sort of one like my Carta and 14C or something. It doesn't have to be like crazy premium, right? Just a little better. This is D2, but it is a black wash, so it's okay. I'm okay with that because I don't have to worry about rust. So yeah, that's the Lizard. That's the gift Lizard. I actually really like it. So thank you to Brandon Thrasher for that one. Next up, we have the Kizer Latt. So this is a loaner from White Mountain Knives. And the reason I got this one in is because I saw NAF Sergeant raving about it in his Best of 21 video. And it made me want to try it. He said it was like the first knife he saw that had this sort of nimble, double flipper tab thing where you have a front flipper and a back flipper, which I thought was interesting. This came out early this year, by the way. Now, the biggest issue I've found with this knife already is it's just super sharp up here. Look at that flipper tab. It's just terrible. It's way too sharp. If you lock this up, you're going to pay for it. And I already have a couple times, and it makes me not like this knife. So you have this stripe down the center. It is black, I guess, PVD coated titanium. I will say this titanium sort of feels cheap. It almost feels like it's aluminum. I almost want to think or say that it is aluminum, honestly. But I think it's listed as titanium because the price was in that sort of titanium range. I think they were like $180 or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think it looks cool with that spear point blade and the black titanium. It'd be cool if it didn't have this stripe or whatever. The frame lock is another big issue. It takes up most of this side of the frame. And then this clip is really small. It has little retention, but it seems pretty good. The edge on it is really sharp from factory. Kizer did a great job there. And you can see the action is really good. It's basically drop shut. I mean, this literally out of the box, I didn't touch anything and it dropped shut. So that's good, right? Now, this flipper tab, again, it works well, actually. It doesn't hurt to deploy normally. But if you have too much pressure on this lock bar, it seizes up. And it freaking kills because of how pokey it is. And left-handed, I mean, you have limited options here because of how big the freaking frame lock is. So you have to kind of hover it. Ow. Put it over here. Put it up top. Like, you just have to be careful. And it's annoying, right? And then you can do a front flip, which again, the jimping, it doesn't go up and around. It kind of ends right here and then just has a little thing right here. I don't know what to call it. And if you miss that, again, unforgiving up here. It's really pokey. Ow. So it's just, I don't know. It's just not that comfortable to use. Right-handed, you got to be careful with the front flip because of the frame lock. You might get on that and cause some issues. If you're right-handed, I think this knife is fine with the frame lock. You're very less likely to lock it up and have the issue I was talking about. But left-handed, it's just, inevitable that I'm going to be fidgeting, not paying attention, and then tear my finger up. That's my main issue with it, along with it feeling kind of chintzy. Yeah. But the blade is freaking phenomenal, and it has this excellent crown spine, which is really cool. Nice satin finish. I mean, I'm impressed with Kizer's satin finish. This is S35, by the way. Ergo is very neutral. It feels really good in hand. It feels like I have a lot of blade for the handle. I mean, it's really working that blade to handle ratio. That tip comes all the way down. So you get a full grip with a large glove size hand is nice. There's no choil, but you have a flat right here, so you can get up pretty close to the tip. You can kind of pinch grip it and get up here, but again, it's one of those longer knives where it's just getting in my wrist. So I'm less likely to try to do that. There's no lock stick or anything like that. Feels really good. Lockup is solid. And again, access is really good as well. You just kind of get in there, get a little cutout, boom, good to go. So yeah, this is actually a loaner from White Mountain Knives. So big thank you to White Mountain Knives. You guys can use my code LeftyEDC over there. You'll get 10% off your order and free shipping in the US. And they make it to where I can get some knives in on loan and don't have to spend that extra money sometimes, which is nice. So this is an interesting knife for sure. I see why NAF really liked it for the price, the action, you know, especially if you're right-handed. It's super thin and lightweight, and the blade is just excellent, you know. So I'll wrap it up with a full review on this guy in a week or so, and we'll see. But I think that lefty issue with the frame lock is just going to keep coming back to haunt this knife for me, you know. But otherwise, it's really cool. They do make a mini lap bend as well, and I believe they just came out with one in a Iron Man configuration. It even has a little blue, whatever that energy source thing is he has, which looks pretty cool. So that is the Kizer Vatland. What did I just say? Vatland, the Latmand, and the Bestech Lizard. So, thank you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I love you all, and I will catch you later.